Never tripped in school. And there's a first for everything, so you know what? We're gonna try it right now. I slapped that tab on my tongue and start walking. It didn't taste bitter at all, which is a plus, because that means he sold me some real shit. It also tastes like nothing, which is good. Flipping it back and forth on my tongue, trying to make sure nothing tastes bitter, because I don't have a test kit, and I didn't have one back then, because that's a lot of work to buy one. I'd rather just risk it. Fuck it. I came late, obviously, so I signed my late slip, went upstairs, went into math class, and just sat down. Towards the ending of first period, I was still waiting. Nothing happened at all. I thought I got sold something trash. And the teacher turned off the lights because she was about to put on a presentation because in math we had a block period, so it was first and second periods for that same classroom. So she turned off the lights. It felt weird. Like, I don't know. It felt more cozy than usual. That's the first word that came to mind. Just coziness. That's the first word that came to mind, to be honest. I don't know how else to explain it, but when she turned off the lights, it felt cozy. I wasn't seeing visuals or hearing anything. It was just felt cozy. It's like 15 minutes before the end of second period, and look at this girl in the corner right next to the door that we're about to leave from. She's on her phone, and then boom, RGB splits start happening. If you're a COD editor, or if you're good with like After Effects or whatever, you know what a RGB split is. That started happening around her, and then instantly my face went from straight to permanent smile. Like, I couldn't stop smiling because I was so excited that I got sold some real shit, and that it was happening in school. Is like, an acid makes me really happy. So all that combined, it was just, I couldn't stop smiling. And I remember looking around and everything was like slightly RGB'd because I was starting to trip. It wasn't nothing full yet. I was just starting to trip. And then the period rung, and then we walked to our other class. And that class, that's when my trip started to really elevate. I sat all the way in the corner, and this teacher that we had, she turned off the lights because she was showing us something about English or whatever. I don't remember, bro. I was just in the corner. I loaded up Spotify. I went to Lil Uzi. I don't know why, but I instantly went to Money Longer. Listening to that song while tripping balls is insanity. If you do acid, you have to listen to Money Longer while tripping balls. And look at the cover of Money Longer. Not the cover of Lil Uzi versus the World, but the cover of Money Longer, like the single. It was like transforming and moving and dripping, and I remember there being this one gray part that was just constantly like a pool, and I would just look at it and touch my phone, and then it would do ripples as if it was real water. But when the song was over, I paused the playlist, looked up, and I seen my friend, her, and like 2 other people just looking at me trip ultimate balls in class. I'm not trying to make it seem like I was fully at my peak, because I wasn't yet. I was getting there though. They looked really scary. There was like a dark haze around them, and they kind of reminded me of some weird monsters. Honestly, I just put my head back down mad quickly, and then all 3 of them just started laughing, and then the teacher was like, "What happened?" And then everybody said nothing. When I looked up to look at the teacher, it was the weirdest experience. It's like all I heard was extreme fast wind because the window was open behind me, and the entire room felt like we were in that one scene from The Cat in the Hat where both of their worlds get warped together. It felt exactly like that. Like, the room looked purple. It felt like all I heard was that's literally all I heard. I don't remember anything after that except for me going to gym, because that was my next period. This was either 4th or 5th period. We sat down on the floor because this was around testing time, and apparently we had a state test for gym, so no one was playing. Luckily, I don't even think I would have been able to play, because once we got into that gym, that's when I peaked. Everything started changing colors. Nothing sounded the same. It wasn't distorted or anything, but it just sounded like it had a lot of reverb because it was a fairly big gym, so everyone's voice sounded like they had hella reverb. I remember sitting against the wall, like looking at my phone, because I had this alien background picture specifically for when I dropped, and looking at it was crazy. It felt like it was literally in my face. One thing that I kind of don't like about acid is when you reach your peak, that's when your eyes like start, it's not hurting, but like basically it feels like your eyes are literally rolling. Wheels on a bus roll. It feels like your eyeballs are doing that, but without them actually rolling. And it's like a little pressure, and my anxiety makes me think that I'm about to start like getting a headache or something. So that's kind of a downfall of acid, but over time I tend to forget about it and just go with the flow. And that's exactly what I did. The rest of the periods are blank to me. After gym, I had physics, and my physics teacher was pretty hot, and she had a nice ass. So I wanted to see that shit while tripping balls. I was pretty excited. She looked pretty much normal. Everything else in that classroom was pretty like yellowish, because when I think of physics, I think of the color yellow. So I guess my brain was portraying that. And once again, she turned off the lights because she wanted to show us a presentation. Like, this entire day was just full of presentations because there's about to be a state test, so we were doing reviews. And then afterwards, she was done with the presentation. She asked us what movie we wanted to watch. For some reason, I just had a blank stare at the board. Someone said Zootopia, so she put on Zootopia. And then she called me over to the side, and she was whispering while everyone else was watching. She said to me, "What are you on? Because I know you're not sober." And she was really cool, so I told her. I was like, "I'm tripping balls on acid right now." And I think I said that pretty loud because one of my friends that was in the English class that was looking at me that I said looked like a monster, she started giggling and laughing. And then the teacher told me to keep it down. And she was like, she legit said, "Well, then you'll like this movie because it's 3D and it's gonna look amazing while you're tripping balls." And then she told me to sit back down. And then I did. Watching Zootopia on acid was great. Normally, I don't watch anything while I'm on acid, even though I should, because that's like the best thing to do for the visuals. I just usually listen to music and just let my brain take place and do whatever it wants. But I watched Zootopia on acid and the sloth scene came up. That looked insanity. I'm not even going to try to explain how that sloth scene looked. Just imagine a 3D movie while you're tripping on acid. Wow, this was a pretty fun video to make. It's definitely way longer than usual, so I'm sorry for that. But yeah, but I tried going into depth for this video just to make it more interesting. If you guys want longer videos, tell me, because I'll definitely do that. Usually I just try to keep it short and sweet for these type of story Usually I just try to keep it short and sweet for these type of videos because I know people don't want to be listening to my voice for extended long periods of time. So I just keep it around 3 to 6 minutes. But if you enjoy, leave a like down below, comment, subscribe. I'll be back. Yeah.
Shawty, I'ma do things that you ain't never